We have to make sure that we're living for Jesus, with Jesus, and in Jesus.
Wise words of faith on the Ferris wheel. Americans of all backgrounds and vocations are gathering in our nation's capital to celebrate a very special Independence Day this weekend. Welcome to EWTN News In Depth. I'm Catherine Hadro. Tomorrow marks 250 years since 13 defiant colonies declared their independence against a global empire, becoming the United States of America. Well before that fateful day on July 4th, 1776, Catholics have evangelized this nation and shaped its history. But what does it mean to be an American Catholic? Reporter Mark Irons has traveled across the country to find out.
America is turning 250 years old.
There's no other country in the world that has the liberty and the freedoms that this country has.
The celebrations have already begun around the country, and in our nation's capital, there's even a fair. A ride on the giant Ferris wheel outside the halls of Congress provides stunning views as you look back to how this all began.
Sister, 250 years of America. What does it mean to you?
Well, of course, everything, in the sense of this is where I was born and raised.
Of course, when you meet nuns in line for a Ferris wheel, you can't pass up the opportunity to join for a ride, and on this occasion, share some red, white, and blue reflections.
We are so blessed that we probably take it all for granted. We don't really get up every morning and think, oh, look what we have here.
What do we have? Well, not far from the Ferris wheel, the National Archives building lets you go inside and take a look.
This is the rotunda where our founding documents are preserved. On July 4th, 1776, the founding fathers laid out the reasons for our separation with Great Britain in the Declaration of Independence. And 250 years later, people are lining up to take a look at that freedom-defining document.
Though the signatures on the Declaration of Independence are quite faded now, the contributions of each founding father can't be erased, including those of the only Catholic signer, Charles Carroll. But the story of Catholicism in America begins centuries before Carroll or the Declaration he signed.
This is really where Catholicism started in the United States.
In 1565, Spanish missionaries landed in St. Augustine, Florida, establishing the first permanent Catholic settlement. Katie Lockard is the archivist in the Diocese of St. Augustine.
I am thrilled because I am the steward of the oldest Catholic records in the country.
Inspecting the records, she has an insight into what the foundations of faith in America would have looked like.
St. Augustine was a really multicultural community, and so it's really clear that everybody was invited, and there was a lot of evangelization that happened in this area. We have instances of people of color, indigenous, Spanish.
In many ways, Catholicism and how it has remained in America is an immigrant story.
Our current course recalls the voyages of approximately 12 million American immigrants. Wow. They passed through these waters.
Very cool that, they not only came here with their faith, but then continued it.
Waves of Catholic immigrants from many countries were processed through Ellis Island outside New York City, passing the Statue of Liberty as they approached. For over a year now, we've been documenting this story of American Catholicism from the past to present.
Excuse me, does anybody want to be on TV? We're talking about Catholicism in America. You guys got some thoughts? Do we have a Catholic here?
We're all Catholic.
You're all Catholic. You yourself, you're Catholic? Totally Catholic, he says.
In the early days of America, some Catholics may not have shown their faith so proudly. We did face forms of persecution as a religious minority, but the Founding Fathers imagined a place where all would be able to worship freely.
Do you find that you are able to practice your faith well in America?
Absolutely. most decidedly.
A country that tolerates and respects different religions.
Are you a person of faith yourself?
I am.
What's your faith background?
I'm Muslim.
When you think of Catholicism, what do you think of?
I think of all the work that Catholicism has done abroad in helping
the impoverished people all around the globe, you know?
One shining example of that, the missionary from Chicago who would shepherd his flock in Peru and ultimately become our first American Pope. Pope Leo XIV has caught the attention not just of Catholics.
I'm not a Catholic, but I think it's a tremendous point of national pride.
I'm not Catholic, but I thought about converting. The Catholic faith is pretty beautiful, I won't deny that.
Which brings us to a question. The beauty of the Catholic faith and living it in this beautiful country, what does that look like now, going forward?
Can you be fully American and fully Catholic? Like, what does that mean?
Right, to be an American patriot and a Catholic are not in opposition.
Father Aquinas Gilbo is chaplain and vice president of ministry and mission at the Catholic University of America.
Liberty is a gift to be cherished, but it can be very easily abused and misunderstood and misused. And every American Christian has to achieve in life how bring our civic liberties and the gospel command to love together.
He points us to Bishop Fulton Sheen, a mid-20th century American clergyman whose fearless approach to sharing the faith captivated and inspired a national TV audience.
I think he had an understanding of freedom that certainly many of the founders would have articulated, that freedom is not license, that freedom is responsibility to pursue the good.
Over the past year, we've heard from many people. Some, though free, feel lost.
I currently am not a practicing Catholic. That's one thing I really miss in my life now, that I don't have any sense of community.
Others are beginning to find it. And when you give it the bird's eye view, at least from Sister Mary Angela's perspective, there is much to be grateful for.
What do you think the state of the Catholic faith in this country is?
Growing and thriving. I think if I had to say something.
Mark Irons, EWTN News In Depth.